Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking about how to find content inspiration so that way you never run out of content ideas again and you're never just sitting in front of your computer or your phone wondering what to post. Let's dive in.
First up, the most important thing is to have your content pillars down, and that way you can organize all of your content ideas under each pillar. Now, if you want to learn more about content pillars, we did this video that you can check out and put together your social media strategy and of course your content pillars, and we're going to get into it a bit more later.
Now, the first areas that we really look to when we're talking about how to find content inspiration is directly on the social platforms. So the first platform, which is amazing for this, is Instagram, of course, right? So what you want to do is write down, so research and then write down 10 accounts that are speaking directly to your target audience. So they are marketing to your audience or they're just aggregating or creating content for your audience. Once you have those accounts written down, you want to head over to their profiles and start saving content directly in the Instagram app using the collections. So if you don't know what the collections are, they've gone through many things. It's kind of like where guides ended up being. Now they're public, but generally speaking, these are like private collections that you can have. And the pro tip is to save them by content pillar. So when you go to a post, so for example, if I am a business owner who owns a pet store, right? I'm going to go to certain accounts that are speaking to other pet owners, and then I'm going to save, whether it be reels, whether it be static posts, anything that I think makes sense. So if we are both obviously educating around pet food, I would save those posts and those tips under a content pillar that is like dog tips, for example. The next thing you want to do is write down 10 accounts that you personally follow because you like their content. This is where your creative inspiration will come from, because it doesn't always need to be the direct competitor or someone who's in the direct industry that you're in. A lot of the times content inspiration can be found from anywhere, especially in the way that people are just, finding ways to entertain or educate their audience, whatever that style might be. If it's attracting you and you're interested in it, it's likely going to attract the person that you've made your product or service for as well. So again, what you would do with these, you can either save them under your content pillars directly in the Instagram app using collections, or you could save them by the actual content format. So you could save these as like reels, for example, or you could save these as like carousel, static posts, which would just help you more in terms of, okay, I have information, I just need ideas on how to present it. That's where you would be using those collections for. Now, while you're looking through these profiles and looking through their posts, something that is so underrated is to actually just go into the comments and look at the types of questions or comments that people are making, because that is your audience, which will also give you ideas of what to create content around. So this is super, super important. It's also important for growth reasons and engagement reasons, which we've talked about. This is why you need to spend time in the app. We broke it down in this video, so we won't talk about it there in terms of how to grow with, engaging with other accounts. But this is very underrated. We can't recommend enough going through the comments and seeing what your competitors' audiences are talking about, because that's your audience as well. And then another way that you can find content inspiration directly in app in Instagram is just by using search. So if you enter the specific keywords that your audience should be using, for example, pet nutrition, dog nutrition. I'm just going to use dog things all the way through.
It's
just what it is.
Switch it up from coffee.
So for example, if your audience is looking up pet nutrition tips, things like that, you'd be able to just type those keywords in and you'll start seeing all the top posts that are coming up for that. What's really important to focus on here is the ones that are getting the most engagement. So look at the posts that are doing the best for other people, because they will likely do well for you too. And a very important note is not to copy what someone else is doing. It is inspiration. The title of this is how to get inspiration for content, not how to copy. So just want to put that out there.
The next platforms are Pinterest, YouTube, and TikTok. A great way to find content inspiration is to search for your keywords or titles within those apps, and a whole bunch of different content will come up to give you an idea of what people are actually posting on those platforms natively. Pinterest is really great for static asset ideation, something like infographics or carousels, and you can also save posts to private boards, which is super handy, or you could save it into like an ideation document. But the great thing about the private boards is that the more you save, the more suggestions Pinterest gives you, which then you can get more inspiration from without having to go search. And because it's a private board, people won't know that you're saving posts from, potentially competitors or other creators and things like that. In addition to great content ideas, TikTok and YouTube are fantastic for helping with title searches, so you can see what titles are actually trending or working really well, along with keywords and other search terms. So it's really keyword heavy, and there's different tools that you can use to help find those.
A very underrated social media platform, or do we call it social media? Is it really considered?
I think it is, but it's kind of more like a forum.
Yeah, because it's more like a forum, but Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we do in the end push it under the social media umbrella, but it technically doesn't feel the same way, but you are sending media and you are being social. So fine. Underrated platform, and the reason is because Reddit is so real time on the pulse of what people are thinking. So remember, when you're looking at an Instagram and things like that, if something's a hot immediate topic, there's still the algorithm in effect that's doing all these other things, where Reddit is here's a forum of people talking in real time in chronological order when you go to a community, for example. So, or it's something really hot or trending, it's going to come to the top of a Reddit forum. So the way that you could use Reddit for this, and it's really great at finding not only memes and what funny things are going on in your community, but also trending topics are the big thing there, is by joining a community that your target audience would likely be in. So for example, again, for my dog food business or my pet business, I think it just narrowed it down to dogs.
Yeah.
But for my dog food business, there are subreddits that are definitely dedicated to dogs, but there's dog advice, there's dog nutrition, dog food. So something like dog food is definitely a Reddit forum that I would be going through all the time to see what questions people are asking around nutrition. So that way I could use those ideas and create those into carousels or tips or Reels tips, something like that, where it's I'm answering the questions and you're kind of how am I getting the answers to the questions from this brand that I didn't even ask? They're ahead. How do they know? That's how. Back in the day, when you think about it, people used to have to pay focus groups and do all these things to get information from their consumers, right?
Yeah.
Now you could just go on the internet and find it, and platforms like Reddit is where people really speak their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Judge it as you will. There are benefits to it that also come along with some of the weird parts.
It is true.
There is literally a subreddit for every single topic, and you should definitely be taking advantage of these places where your consumer is pushing their heart out.
Another phenomenal way to get fantastic content ideas is via AI. Obviously, that's what everyone is talking about these days. The primary way is through ChatGPT, but a lot of the suggestions we're about to make probably would work with Meta AI, but we primarily use ChatGPT. So there's the free version, and there's also the brand new version, Dash 4.0, which is free as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic, a great tool for content ideation. So what you should do is go into ChatGPT and give it all the information about what you're trying to get ideas for. So that would include things like your objective, your target audience, your calls to action, all those different details.
Your pillars.
Yep, content pillars, super key. And then it'll generate content ideas directly for you. And the best part there is you can go back and forth with it. You can be cool, I like this, let's extrapolate this some more. Or change the tone or change something about it. It's fantastic. It's one of the best tools if you use it correctly. It's probably one of the best things that's happened in quite some time as far as for helping marketers on social media to be able to do things like this.
And it's not even that you would use exactly, it's like what Craig's saying, it's not like you use exactly what it's given you, but it helps you with the ideation. And I think that's why that back and forth is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing that, make sure that you ask ChatGPT to separate it by content pillars. So give you the ideas, but give them under your content pillars, again, because it's just about being organized. So when you go to create your content, you already have the pillars there, and you can easily be okay, I post this type of pillar 3 times a week, I do this one 3 times a week, whatever it may be. You can easily just refer back to that document. Now, speaking of content and speaking of AI, you may need help once you have all these great ideas with your actual copy. Just like us, many of you are busy business owners, entrepreneurs, and creators, and you do not have the time to go through all the intricate details and processes around content creation. But thankfully, because of HubSpot's Campaign Assistant, you will be able to have help in this area. So let's break it down for you. HubSpot's Campaign Assistant is a free AI marketing asset creator, which means it can generate engaging copy for your social posts, landing pages, emails, ads, and even help with an entire entire marketing strategy all in 3 easy steps. The first step is to select the type of asset that you'd like to create copy for, whether it's a landing page to send your audience to, or a drip email campaign to push your latest products, or an ad copy for Facebook, Instagram, Google, or LinkedIn. You know how we feel about ads. They are money, but it can be a lot of work to come up with copy all the time for them. So super, super helpful. The second step is our favorite in the whole process. It's where you give the campaign assistant a little more information about your campaign. You can break down the campaign, give it a tone of voice to write in, and even include a call to action. You can edit anything you want from here and even combine multiple iterations to get the perfect copy, which we absolutely love. The third and final step is to just literally paste the final copy into your asset and you are all set. And if you need it, HubSpot can even create a landing page for you. By leveraging AI and Campaign Assistant, you'll save a ton of time that you can invest into things you love to do that just need a bit more of that human touch, you know? You can access Campaign Assistant for free via the link in our description. And thank you so much to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. By the way, we are definitely going to be doing a full video breaking down AI a little bit more, because if you remember a few videos back, if you watched all of our videos, I don't know if you do, we did this video on the importance of social search. And in that video, we also talked about HubSpot Social Media 2024 Trends Report, and AI is a large part of where trends are going. If you just look around you, you know that AI is huge right now. Meta AI, ChatGPT 4.0, everything. AI is in it. It's not going anywhere, and it's going to be in your best benefit to stay on top of it and understand how it can work for you, so you are not spending extra time on tasks that you don't need to.
Another great way to get content inspiration is by tapping into some web sources. So personally, we kind of prefer getting inspiration from social because you get the actual content inspiration as opposed to just the ideas. But there are some great websites that can really point you in the right direction. Google Trends. So this is a great one for finding out what people are actually searching for right now and what volumes of traffic are going to which different search terms to really point you in that right direction. That's super, super handy. Answer the Public. This is a cool one. So it's just a place where people ask a whole bunch of questions. So you can filter into your topic, find out what people are specifically asking around your keywords, your search terms, and your niche, and turn that into content. And Quora. Is that how you say it? I think so. Say it.
Yeah.
I feel like it is. So question or answer. It's another similar hub, not too dissimilar to Answer the Public, where people can submit questions and people can answer. So once again, you can drill down into your niche and your search terms and see what people are asking. And the best part about all of these is that you can really get granular. You can get like right down to the highly specific elements of each niche. So we talked about the pet food. You know, when you were Googling different things about our dog, Quora comes up most of the time. And there'll be some sort of really hyper specific, hey, I've got a 3-month-old Maltipoo and he's doing this. And, you know, you really get those answers. Fantastic ways to tap into content inspo.
Another great place for finding content inspiration is through newsletters. So specifically signing up to the newsletters of your competition and then of brands and publishers who are speaking to your target audience. Because in those newsletters, they're always going to be rich, especially when they're roundups, rich with information and content ideas. So for example, for us, we're signed up to every social media marketing, digital marketing newsletter that you can imagine. And what we get from that is what's new in the news, what are the updates, and they directly translate to the YouTube videos that you see. And then on top of it, you'll usually find trending articles or trending social posts that they're promoting, but it really helps you with coming up with ideas. And then you can take those ideas and save them over into a document. Another thing that is great with newsletters is that you can get some visual inspiration too, especially the like larger brands who are really great at putting in like those stunning visuals. Think Fenty Beauty, for example, into a newsletter. So if you're somebody who has a makeup brand, you could get a lot of visual inspiration for their newsletters that can transfer over to your social, but for your newsletters as well.
So now you've got a whole bunch of fantastic content ideas, but what do you do with them? So there's a few different things you can do. One of the easiest ways that we find that works for us is by putting them into some sort of content tracker or planner. So you you can keep it all in one place, in one document that your whole team can access. Some of the social media scheduling tools like Planoly have sections where you can keep ideas, and that's also great as well. So you can do whatever works for you, but just make sure you keep them all in one central place.
Yeah, I always feel like that's kind of knowing yourself and how you like to work.
Yeah, it's so true.
And like we like documents, like but Notion, for example. So we also like Notion, but for the idea tracking, we do that in a content tracker.
Yeah.
Notion would be great for this, Asana, whatever. Any of these things, it's like how you work and how you know that you'll go back and refer to it. Some people just use notes and they just keep going notes all the way through.
Too.
Just know yourself. That part is like know yourself.
So true.
And that's it. That's how you can find an endless volume of content inspiration for your social media posts. Thank you so much to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. You all should definitely go check out their campaign assistant. The link to that free assistant will be in the description box below. Now, if you are wondering again about how to get your social strategy together, we definitely recommend that you check out this video because you shouldn't even be inspired by or be thinking about content ideas until you got your strategy on point. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.